There's something happening with the UFC referees, and I don't know what it is. I don't know where they are finding these refs, if they are local to the event or what they are. But my goodness, it just, at this point, it's just, let's make it up, see what happens. Doesn't matter if I do something that's wrong, I can just make something up and fix it. My goodness, it was absolutely poor this week at UFC Rio. But let's talk about it. The way I'm going to start this. 2 weeks ago, Jake Matthews against Neil Magny at UFC Perth. Neil Magny against Jake Matthews in the first round. There's about 10 seconds left and Jake Matthews starts sinking in a guillotine, okay? And Magny's arm is up. I don't know if you've seen the clip, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, his arm was up. Ref basically starts to check and his arm slowly goes down. So the ref thinks he's out, stops the fight. And then the horn goes for the end of the round. Magny wasn't out. He starts going, So what does the ref do? What does this idiot over here do? He just goes, oh, no, sorry. Okay, no, it's fine. Fight's still on. He literally tapped Matthews, said, stop. It's over. He's out. And then he just decided to continue. Okay, that was 2 weeks ago. So then that brings us to UFC Rio. Now, I might not talk about these in order, but my goodness, it was absolutely poor. So let's start with the Joel Alvarez against Vicente Luque fight, okay? So in round one, Joel Alvarez catches Luque with this punch over here. A left hook, his thumb catches the eye, scrapes the eye of Vicente Luque, cuts him, okay? But you can see that punch there, legal punch, the fist is closed. It was just a scraping thumb, it happens. Anyways, Luque starts complaining, so ref calls time on the fight to give Luque a little rest, okay? Then they play the replay, show that it was a legal blow, okay? Ref starts talking to the guy on the sidelines, and they say it's a legal blow, blah, 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 blah. So the ref just keeps letting Luque rest for another minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then the fight restarts, okay? But he waved it off in that time period. After Luque got hit with that and was on the sideline like grabbing his eye, the ref goes into the middle of the octagon and he waves it off. He waves the fight off, and then all of a sudden Luque's like, no, like I'm fine. And then the ref's like, okay, cool, take your break and then let's continue. He waved off the fight. It doesn't matter if it was correct or incorrect. If you wave off the fight is over. I don't know what is going on and how it is just being allowed that these refs can just make a mistake and then just go back on it because somehow they can. If it's the end of the round and they called the fight off early, they can just say, no, it's fine, let's keep going. Or somehow they can wave off the fight and then just be like, oh no, sorry, I made the wrong call, let's keep fighting. If it's the wrong call, it's the wrong call. If you wave off the fight, you wave off the fight, ref. He walked in the middle of the octagon like this. It's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. Then, can we get these guys in the gym, please? This big boy over here, he let Thomas Peterson, who was brutally unconscious, this guy was dead on the canvas, and Petrino followed up with 2 shots clean to the jaw before big boy over here could step in. Like, come on, why are you sitting on the edge of the cage while there's action going on and you take 20 minutes to intervene once a fighter gets knocked down? Unnecessary follow-up shots on Peterson. As a fighter, they're always going to keep going until the ref stops them. It's got to be better, honestly. Then, another mistake from the ref. Carpenter tapped. He tapped. Right here in this moment is when he tapped once on the leg of Jafal Filho. Filho loosens the grip on the Kimura, realizes the ref didn't call the fight off, and then rips it again, and then the tap comes and the ref calls it off. But Carpenter tapped. He literally blatantly tapped, and the ref didn't do anything. Again, just where are they finding these guys? Like, who just clearly don't know what they're doing. And then this was the last one. This wasn't even one of, wasn't even a different ref. This was Herzog. But Herzog, he wanted Almeida to die. I mean, how many shots does he have to soak up from Aswell Jr. before Herzog calls the fight off? I mean, surely Herzog knew Almeida had a broken hand going into that. I doubt he didn't see that somehow in the like lead up to the fight, you know. So he probably knew Almeida had a broken hand, and then you could clearly see the guy was just getting chinned off every punch, and then he just gets dropped brutally by a right hand, curls up on like on his bum, in guard, and like Herzog's like, nah, keep going, Aswell, absolutely hammer him. So of course Aswell goes back in there and just starts hammering him even more. I mean, absolutely brutal and unnecessary. But the main points I wanted to talk about was the Alvarez versus Luque incident. Just absolutely diabolical. It's a closed fist. The strike was legal after the review of the footage shows it's a legal blow. You continue. You start the fight again. But he didn't do that one. He waved off the bloody fight. It was a knockout for Vicente Luque. For Joel Alvarez in round 1. The ref waved it off. I didn't even bet on that. So I'm not even upset about that. I'm just upset that it's just ridiculous refereeing. And then, in the end of the first round, or I can't remember if it was the end of the first or second. I think it was the end of the second round. Luque is on his stool, telling his corner that he can't see out his eyes bad. I don't know if I can keep fighting. Basically quit on the stool. What does his corner do? Nah, go on, son. Get out there. Throw in the bloody towel. So then Luque won by KO a second time. And then, of course, he won by decision in the end. So just ridiculous refereeing, weird corner work. And then, Petrino Peterson, this is just a bit of a dig at this guy. But, like, genuinely, how can it take you so long to rush in, bro? Like, Petrino did not need to land 2 more follow-up shots on Thomas Peterson. And then this was also just sneaky from Carpenter. Cheeky little tap to make your opponent loosen the grip. But refs got to be on that. Just all in all, the decision-making has to be better from these referees. I don't know if it's the local refs they get when they take these pay-per-views, or not pay-per-views, but take these events to other countries. But it's got to be better. It's got to be better. You can't be having things like this happen where a ref waves off a fight, and like this, where a ref waves off a fight and then just goes back on his word. If you do the signal, the fight is over. If you wave it off, the fight is over. You can't go back on that. I don't know. That's my referee rant over for this video. Just despicable, honestly, and it can't keep going on like this because even the good refs are becoming bad. It's just, I don't know, stupid nonsense, like waving off fights and then going back on your word because you made a mistake. If you wave it off, you wave it off. But that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll check you in the next one.